In Spanish, 38 is 38.
38.
38. 38. 38. 38.
O2? O2? Spanish.
In Spanish, 38 is 38.
38.
38. 38. 38. 38.
O2? O2? Spanish. What's up, YouTube? Jason here with Jason Bytes, back episode number 31, aka 38 for you English folk out there. In this video, I'm actually going to... In this video, I'm actually going to be making a special announcement for an upcoming video. I don't know when, but it's coming soon. And that is... I'm doing a giveaway in celebration of 100,000 subscribers, and Synology is helping me do it. And so Western Digital, of course, is coming in to help provide the storage, and Plex is going to be providing a lifetime Plex Pass subscription. That's right. Nice little starter kit, okay? This is, the theme of this video is gonna be basically like how to get started, you know, like for minimal cost, but get a fully functional and decent Plex media server. And then as soon as I am done reviewing this, which I haven't even opened it, I literally got this today. As soon as I am done reviewing this, I will post the video, do the giveaway, and then that's it, it's gone. Along with Western Digital hard drives and the Plex lifetime subscription service. So look out for that video. I really just kind of want to take this out, right? Because this is new and I haven't even looked at it yet. I haven't broken the seal. Wait, is that where the seal is? That is not where the seal is. It doesn't have a seal. The fun part about being a YouTuber, when you get something that you can play with, is that if you're going to do B-roll of the object, then you don't want to mess with it before you shoot the B-roll, because then you get dirty, like, you know, you get fingerprints and dust and all kinds of things on it. And then you have to clean it before you shoot B-roll. So that sucks. Anyway, huge shout out to Synology for providing the NAS for this giveaway. Another big shout out to Western Digital for providing the storage. And of course, my bae Plex coming in with a lifetime Plex Pass subscription. Thank you guys. I appreciate the 100K celebration giveaway. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. So make sure you like this video and you are subscribed for the channel. For that, it's gonna be sometime this month. I just don't know when. And let's move on to the questions. Let's get right. Sorry, that was a long intro. First question is from Adam. Can I sit on it while working on my computer? Will it do any good? Will it do any good at? I actually picked this question not because I think Adam is going to see this response, but because the video that he commented on is hilariously getting like a lot of views, or at least a decent amount of views, and the like analytics on it is kind of interesting. Apparently the vibration video that shows me doing the full body workout, the full vibration body plate thing, scores really big with women at almost 60% in the range of 40 to 45 years old. So I just thought that was a unique piece of information I wanted to share, and it was gaining traction. So if you haven't seen that video, I make a complete fool of myself reviewing a workout machine that vibrates. But just in case, Adam, you do see this video, I want you to know that sitting on it while working on your computer, 1, would be annoying AF, 2, would probably not give you that much of a workout, because that whole concept of that thing is to use your legs and the muscles in your legs to stabilize your torso. So that's where all the calories and burnings and workout come from, is your leg muscles. Also, if you stand on it and you like lock your legs up and you're just kind of vibrating with it and you're not, you know, bending your knees and just kind of keeping yourself level, you also really don't get much of a workout either. So you have to bend your knees, you have to, you know, maybe do some like up downs or something. Like, you got to work with it. Sitting on it and vibrating while you're working on your computer, albeit could make for a great video, is not going to help you. Sorry, that's an Adam. That was more geared towards an Eve joke. Next question is from Leon. Go see a psychologist. Why, Leon? Are you trying to say that I'm crazy? I don't know why you'd say that. But no, actually, I'm slightly curious where that came from. I mean, I was troubleshooting a computer, and I was told to go see a psychologist by you. So, you know, hey, you earned a spot in me asking why on a video. I'd love to hear. Next question is from USAV3T. I am disturbed by the fact that you are performing open PC surgery on carpet while wearing socks. I actually saw this comment a lot on this video, and I've seen it in previous videos where people comment and say, oh my God, Jason, why are you doing this on the carpet? Why is your server on the carpet? Why are you wearing socks when you're walking around and messing with PC components? And I just kind of want to address it because it's, you know, kind of annoying. Okay, it's not really annoying. It's just more like one of those things like if you have experience in the field of building and working on computers, you kind of have like this habit of grounding yourself before you touch a computer part. So for example, if I go to put a video card in or out of a PC case, like I just subconsciously have this habit of tapping on the computer case itself, and that grounds me out. And if I do have any kind of static electricity built up, then that static electricity will go from my fingers to the case. And then of course, when I touch the components inside the computer, they don't get ruined. So whether I wear socks and on the carpet or not, it doesn't really matter. I just have a habit of grounding myself out. But number two, even if I didn't have that habit, and I'm not saying it's impossible, but even if I didn't have that habit, newer electronics these days, like computer components, they're just not as sensitive as they used to be. I remember back in the day, you know, frying old PC component parts numerous ways, but yes, it was definitely possible. It was a big deal. They had like bracelets, they still do, that ground you out to the case, and it was a bigger focused. But nowadays, it's just not as prevalent. I'm not saying it's impossible, but technology has come a long way and things are designed better, and you can't just like barely touch your motherboard and just have it blow up on you. And the fact that I'm saying this about a video where I diagnose a potential power problem on a motherboard is just a complete coincidence. So I get it. The irony is real. I guess if I have to explain it, the server worked just fine. I just had to reboot it. I didn't actually touch anything and then made it not boot up. All right, next question is from Thomas. What happened to your old server? He's talking about Zeus. Zeus was sitting underneath Loki. It's still in the same spot. Loki has now been pulled out because I'm troubleshooting it, but Zeus is just kind of sitting there. The Xeon processors are still in there. The RAM's still in there. All the hard drive caddies are still there. The only thing missing from what it was before I transferred everything over to Loki are a few internal SSDs that I, moved over. So really, Zeus, for all reason, is completely capable of powering on and being a server. It just doesn't have as many hard drive spaces as Loki does. I thought about selling it or giving it away or something like that, but unless it was somebody local, it's just shipping is not worth it. I mean, I'd rather throw it away than, organize a crate shipment to somebody. As bad as that sounds, which is why it's still sitting in the rack, because I don't want to throw it away and I don't want to ship it. So, plus with all the problems with Loki, who knows? I might have to revert back to it for something. And if I didn't have it in there, I'd have a big gaping empty hole in my server rack. And who wants that? Big gaping holes. They're just not popular in 2020. Next question is from Justin. Try turning on staggered spin up on your SAS card BIOS. Your drives spin up on blah, blah, blah. Okay. Basically, what Justin here was saying was actually echoing what a lot of people were saying on this video, where they were saying, I just was drawing too much power, booting up all of those hard drives at the same time. And while I'm not going to tell you that that is an impossible thing, it's just not a thing for my server. At least it shouldn't be. I mean, I have 800 watt power supplies. Yes, I normally only use 2 at the same time, but I did try with 4. Also, previously to this, with every other system, with all those hard drives, by the way, this entire server case was built specifically for spinning up these drives. It all worked perfectly before. It's just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, started having what I come to find out, a motherboard issue. So staggering the spin up of your hard drives, that way it doesn't hit your power supply all at once, is definitely a possibility for some people, but I just feel with, 95% accuracy that it's not a problem for mine. Also, if I had to guess, I would probably say the X99 system I put on my board would draw more power than the Ryzen board, just because it's just a more efficient processor, the Ryzen is. So if anything, it should be having more problems with the X99 system in it. Just throwing that out there. Next question is from Sidonia. I know you've mentioned that you manage your Plex metadata on a separate SSD using unassigned devices. Would it not be better to add that SSD to your array and still dedicate it to Plex or all Docker app data locations and just exclude it from your other shares. You should still get the same performance, but you now have the benefit of parity protection in case the disk died. This seems like a more economical solution than using RAID 1 and 2 SSDs as you suggested in a previous video. Is there any reason why this would be a bad idea? Well, Sid, I have to be 100% honest. Before reading this comment today, I never considered adding an SSD to the standard array for this purpose, like specifically like this. And I want to say that I never considered it, even though now I think about it and I would definitely never do it, but I never considered it because you only have 30 spots in your array that you could use. And if you were like me and you plan on filling those spots up with all of the possible terabytes you can shove in there, you wouldn't even imagine using one of those slots with an SSD. Yes, in theory, although your writing would be slowed down by your parity drive if you wanted to write data to it, the read performance would still be there. But if you had something like a 500 gig or 1 terabyte SSD or whatever size you so choose into that array, then you are potentially losing out on, a dozen other terabytes that could have filled that unraid spot. However, in a special use case where this is literally what you want to accomplish, having parity on that data, then I would say go for it. That actually sounds like a really great idea. I kind of sort of want to probably work on some sort of a testing environment for this because it's interesting. It doesn't fit me. Never thought about it before, but I think this could be a thing. Personally, I would just stick to RAID 1 and use 2 SSDs, but not a bad idea. Next question is from Morgan. Agree with the auto skip intro, but make it show specific. I actually like watching the intros on some shows. I'd really like to get the option to increase the playback speed and be able to make the default per show. Yes. Wow. Okay, I watch most of my YouTube videos and I implore you, if you watch my videos because I drone on and talk and never get to the point and everyone's really annoyed by that and that's why it took so long to get to 100,000 subscribers, I implore you to watch my videos on 1.25 speed or 1.5 speed on YouTube. You would be surprised if you don't do this on my videos, on other videos on the platform, how much better it is. Like seriously, some people are just better at higher speeds. Philip DeFranco, if it's not on 1.25 minimal, always 1.5 though, if it's not on 1.25, I feel like Philip DeFranco is like that drunk friend telling you a story like,
"Taste this up, you beautiful bastards. Hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco show. Let's just jump into it."
When you go from 1.5 or 1.25 speed to normal speed, it just kind of freaks you out. So it would be an amazing feature to have that on Plex. Plex, if you're watching, do that. Seriously, that's amazing. I may have already asked this before, but still, it's a great idea. And the same thing on the whole skip intro thing. I think that this is a new feature and it needs some tweaking, it needs some options. And really for those people that are like super into managing their server, I think it would even be cool to set a very specific point, like where the intro button shows up and what point it skips to. Because sometimes it's not exactly perfect, and if I can go in there and manage that, that'd be awesome. If I can go in there and manage, some of them are auto skip and some of them are not, that'd be awesome. So Morgan, yes, great idea. I like it. Plex, make it so. Next question. Oh man. Next question is from LNX Pro. At 5 minutes, is that your wife? Don't think I've ever seen her in any of your videos. She does not look happy, LOL. Make sure you get her some flowers just for no reason for sticking up with you, LOL. I'm finally addressing this because, scroll down and Mr. Steve Owens says she unsubscribed. Pew, 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 pew! Savage. I talked about this on Discord with my admin team. I noted, I was like, wow, that was savage. Like seriously, that was great. It was the best comment and it fit perfectly and it was so funny because it was true. That's right, I'm publicly making that announcement. That was my wife and she has unsubscribed. So everybody that keeps asking me in the comments, what does your wife think about this? What did your wife say about this purchase? What did your wife say about this project? I don't know. okay? If you talk to her before I do, let me know. She left my shenanigans a long time ago. Not that I blame her. She unsubscribed, so that is officially known. Just, you know, let's get that out. Let's clear the air. But Steve Owens, I want to say that was probably the best comment I've read all year. Maybe a year and 3 months. Next and final question from I See Riven. Words. Have you or anyone here tried to see how the performance is like when using the NAS for both surveillance and Plex functions simultaneously? Now this is in relation to a Synology video that I did in the past because, hey, Synology, they've been kind of, you know, helping out my channel for a while. Thanks, Synology. I appreciate you. I have kind of like this special place in my heart for like Synology or really any kind of NAS, and Synology just stepped up. But you have a little box. It's low power. It's easy to set up. It's highly supported, and it just works. It's slow. And Synology, I'm not ragging on you specifically, but when you compare something like my Loki server, which is a custom-built Ryzen, okay, well, it's broke. But in its prime, when it worked, it was like 10-fold better than any Synology NAS that I've ever played with. And that's okay because I spent way more money on that server, and that's the whole point. It's supposed to be a powerhouse. But Synology NASs, I mean, we're talking this big, you know? And aside from that Angry Inch build that I did where I had 7 hard drives and a Ryzen 3700, like that is a pretty good power sized thing. That's just plug and go. I like that. Here on my channel, I talk a lot about like how many transcodes can this thing do and what kind of power performance can you get out of it. But in reality, like a lot of people only need like 2 or 3 streams. Don't tell anybody, but most of the time I use like 2 or 3 streams. Like, psh, it's my upload speeds. I have crappy upload speeds, so don't judge me. Which is why when we were talking about doing like a 100 subscriber giveaway with Synology, and you know we were talking about what NAS, you know, this thing was like, hey, this is kind of a starter kit, right? This is a small Synology NAS, supposed to be completely capable. I want to see what it can handle for Plex, but it's like on the lower end of the budget, which is nice because if someone wants to get into a very basic Plex media server, this would be a great start. And that's where NASs come into play, whether it's Synology, QNAP, Western Digital, whatever. Those little NASs are just easy to get up and running and to work with. As far as running the Synology surveillance station on top of Plex, I don't remember the exact numbers, but when I ran the 4 cameras, I think it was 4 cameras at the same time, I did notice probably 1 stream difference, like total synthetic performance testing. But the biggest thing that I noticed was the random like loading, you know, like poster arts and stuff like that. When you're scrolling through your movies and your TV shows, it just seemed, although I didn't measure it like specifically and scientifically, it just seemed as if it wasn't as responsive. So there is a minor performance hit. It's not drastic. It wasn't anything that I focused on, but it is definitely a possibility. Anytime you use something that's going to be multi-purpose and you focus only on one, but then throw in just a little bit of something else, well, you know, there's going to be a little bit of a performance hit. But still, worked great. Can't complain. And like I said, that was the last question. Yes. Well, to my 60% ages 40 through 45 women and the rest 40% of you guys that are watching this video right now, that's not true. I'm just kind of hoping because that one specific thing was on that video. But hey, YOLO, thank you very much for watching. And as always, this video is brought to you by all of my amazing, ridiculous Patreon subscribers that send me money. And every month I'm like, stop, just look what I do. This is, I mean, okay. This year I need to get a new laptop. But the shenanigans over here at B&B headquarters probably doesn't deserve your money, but I appreciate it either way, and your names will be listed at the end of this video. Thank you everyone, like and subscribe, and have yourself a fantastic 4th of July day, night, and don't drink and drive, don't drink and text, and absolutely, for the love of anything you call holy, don't buy Seagate. Okay, so if you are a $10 Patreon subscribers, if you haven't watched the $10 thing, the video that I posted a day or two ago, I was talking briefly about the x-ray that I went into, and I had some other stuff scheduled, but then things kind of felt better, so I didn't really go in for the second thing. But pretty much, I wrecked my bike. I bought a helmet, by the way, totally got the helmet thing going on. So here in 2 weeks, I got a man trip that we call. It's like a little man trip and guns and four-wheelers, and we just go out into the wild. So I got that coming up. I had to get a helmet because I bought a freaking four-wheeler that is basically a crotch rocket with 4 wheels. It's insane. I've already rolled it, you know that, but that's the thing. So I went in, I got the scan, nothing was broken. I had damaged soft cartilage or something in between one of my vertebrae. The dude gave me a set of steroids, which made me feel amazing for about 4 days. While he did that, I was like doing like little stretches, which is kind of cool, you know, like kind of moving around, and I wasn't in so much pain, so that helped a lot. A week later, I no longer have the lower back pain, as if I broke my back. Also, I can now twist my back and pop it. I won't do it right now, but I can do that without my left leg going numb. So, you know, huge update for that, and I'm really feeling good for my little camping trip. So that's just a little update on that. And I found out the other day that I have Friday off for the 4th of July. So have you ever had a day off and you think to yourself, Jason, you have a mess everywhere projects? Like, hey, I'm gonna do a project on this. I'm done. That stays there. Hey, I want to do a project on this. That's done. We'll just stick that right there. And then you just pile up, and next thing you know, like 3 months later, you just got old projects piled up everywhere. I'm terrible. But I'm also the same guy, mind you, single. I'm also the same guy who would prefer to buy 3 weeks worth of clothing so I don't have to do laundry every week. I mean, you run out of underwear and you can go to Walmart and get like another week of underwear. And then you can like postpone doing laundry for another week. I have multiple drawers of socks, multiple drawers of underwear, a bunch of white shirts, and I mean, you know, I really don't know why I shared that, but more information on this entire video. I was kind of excited. I want to make the starter kit, right? This holds 2 drives. Western Digital sent me 2 10 terabyte drives. So you could either A, RAID 0 or 0 F's given, or B, RAID 1, which would, you know, of course, giving you a mirror of the 10 terabytes worth of storage. It's not a massive storage, and I think, if I remember right, this thing only has dual core. But I feel like, if I had to predict anything, this should be good for a solid 4 to 6 streams. I feel like. It's a rough shot in the dark, but I think this thing is going to be a great starter little up and go Plex media server for somebody. And I really hope that you win it and not sell it on eBay for a profit. But thankfully, Synology has some awesome people behind it, specifically Kyle, who has been kind of working with a lot of the things, including my full home backup that I did with a big NAS that I have in my main server room right now. And it seriously, it backs up everything in my house automatically every day, every other day, every 3 days, just depending on what it's backing up. So it's just kind of one of those things. It works, it's set up, it's cool, it's reliable, I like it, and it's great. And it has a decent amount of storage. So I have, you know, a little place in my heart for these little NAS devices.